Good morning, g'day, and welcome to Mindset Mastery Monday. Tanj here. It is the 15th of April, 2019. I hope that I had a phenomenal weekend celebrating my girlfriend Kairava and her birthday, Kate Ashton. I was wondering how long it would take you to get online. Hollyburn, look at you, the ladies are winning straight off the bat. I had the most amazing weekend hanging out with people that I love. G'day, birds of a feather, birds of a feather. I love your work. If you want beautiful feathers and gorgeous feather bow ties for the cup or any other amazing events, and if you're in fashion design or you like something a bit different, go check out Birds of a Feather. They do incredible work. Hey, happy Monday. If you are in Melbourne and you haven't seen the Roan exhibition up at Sherbrooke, go and see it. I think tickets are sold out, but we actually ended up getting in and seeing it. I'm so inspired. It's ridiculous. Birds of a Feather, you would love it. All right, I'm going to get straight into it because I want to make sure that, I don't waste your time and we make this super valuable. Let me start by asking you a question, and I'd really love you to type in your response. Have you ever experienced self-doubt? Yes or no? Have you ever experienced self-doubt? Have you ever questioned your ability to produce a result? Have you ever noticed your fear getting in the way of you making a fortune? And when I say fortune, I don't necessarily just mean money. I mean that you are fully self-expressed and feeling fulfilled and then, being remunerated accordingly. Have you ever? Oh my God, yes, the Hollyburn. Is that yes because you've seen the exhibition, or yes that you've felt self-doubt? Of course, the holistic home. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, how about you, Kate? Have you ever felt self-doubt, and anyone watching? We all do, and a lot of us say, I want to ask you this question next. Have you ever said, oh, I'm not confident to do that? So something that you haven't really done before or haven't done much, have you ever said, I'm not confident to do that? Hollyburn is saying yes to self-doubt. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. So, hey, Catherine, great to have you here, my love. We all have experience of self-doubt. We all lack the confidence to do something, and it stops us from taking the action that we know we need to take to produce a desired result or achieve an outcome that we would love to. And I just have the privilege every single day of every single week to have people smash the shit that gets in the way of their success. It's really quite simple. And I want to give you today 7 tips to really shift your relationship with self-doubt and have you turn your fear into fortune. Would that be beneficial? Give me a thumbs up. By the way, if you're watching this live, do me a favor, type in live on Instagram or Facebook. And if you're watching the record, type in the record so I know when this message is connecting to you. All right. So if you're feeling self-doubt, highly likely that you've got elements of anxiety, fear, concern, worry, nervousness, in some cases depression. And if I get really serious with you, in some cases people are suicidal. That's a fact. People are really trapped by their fear, and everything that happens in their life is evidence that they are not good enough. By the way, a little behind the scenes of self-doubt. Here's what I want to share with you. You and I, at some stage when we were young, something happened and we made the decision that we're not good enough. And I've had the experience of seeing people that have had traumatic experiences and not so traumatic experiences, yet interestingly, we both decide that we are not good enough. Hey, Chris, great to have you here, my friend. So our fear of not being good enough is the fuel to self-doubt. And self-doubt is the evidence. We doubt ourselves. We doubt ourselves, though, because we don't take the action. We know what to do in many cases, but notice how we don't do it. Does that make sense? Do you know what to do? Could you replicate somebody else? Have you gone to Eric or gone to training or podcasts? Do you know what the steps are to take to be successful? G'day, Karen. Great to have you here. Happy Monday. And are you not taking it? I bet you're not taking it. Write in yes if that's you, right? Let's get straight with ourselves. I bet you're not taking the step because you don't feel confident to do it. So step number 1 is, Wild Offerings have joined. Hello, Wild Offerings, my lovely girlfriend, amazing artist in Byron Bay. If you're wanting some beautiful artwork by an amazing Aussie artist, please check out my girlfriend, Tiffany, in Byron Bay. Wild Offerings is a gorgeous page. Mwah, I love you, sister, and I will answer your text after this message. That's all I answer it because I was on here. Okay, absolutely, Karen. Okay, so self-doubt sabotages our success. Fear gets away of us fulfilling on our future and our fortune. And here's why. We fundamentally believe that we are not good enough, and our fear stops us from taking any action. And here's what I know for sure. You and I, no doubt, have had stuff or shit happen to us. True? Have you had shit happen to you? G'day, Adam. Great to have you here as well. Have you had shit happen to you? Whether it's traumatic or sort of simple, but stuff's happened to you. Yes, give me a thumbs up. Yes or no. By virtue of being alive, of course you have. You've had your heart broken, you got an answer wrong when your teacher asks you a question in the classroom, you failed at something. Like, we do stuff, we get stuff wrong all the time. But here is where our self-doubt really starts to begin. We go for stuff in life, we do stuff in life, and shit happens, but it is never the stuff that happens that defines us. It's the story we tell ourselves as a result. You've heard me say this before if you watch Mindset Mastery Monday every week. So what happens to us, I'm not discounting what happens, but it is the story, it is the belief, it is the decisions, it is the things that we decide after what happens that determines our reality. So for example, I had a client last week that lost 3 listings. He lost 3 listings, potentially $120,000 worth of gross commission income. That's what happened, but he made it mean he's a failure, and it just confirmed his belief that he's not good enough. So I want you to know that when shit happens and you create a disempowering story of, see, I'm not good enough, I suck at this, I'm unsuccessful, he's better than me, she's better than me, those beliefs you don't file in the past, those beliefs you file in the future, and we go about creating situations to be right about those beliefs. Does that make sense to you? Give me a thumbs up if this is making sense. So the things that happen to us, we make decisions, we make beliefs, we make judgments, opinions, and assessments of ourselves, others in the world, and that becomes true. Here's what successful people do. They never collapse failure with being a failure. They never collapse no with I'm not good enough. They never make some shit happen mean something about themselves and then, sink in this swamp of self-doubt and the sediment of suffering. They just don't. They go, cool, what's the lesson? What's the lesson? What am I learning? So number 1, when shit happens to you, and it's bound to happen, please separate what happened with the story that you're telling yourself, because the story will not be empowering, and that will fester self-doubt. Make sense? Give me a thumbs up if step 1 makes sense. Step 2, you have to have a clear vision for what you want to achieve. Thanks, Holistic Home. You have to have a clear vision for what you want to achieve. You have to have a why. If you feel self-doubt, and if you feel like you don't have the mojo to do what you need to do and fear is stopping you, if your why isn't big enough to propel you out of your doubt, you won't take the action. So we do things for 2 reasons. We're either avoiding pain or we're seeking pleasure. Most of us on the planet are either avoiding pain, meaning we've got debt we've got to clear, we've had our hearts broken, we don't want to live a life like our parents did, like there's some pain, some trauma, we've been sick, we just want to get out of that situation, and that gives us the impetus and the fuel to keep going and growing. Make sense? Or we're seeking pleasure. There's no pain, or we've healed the pain, but we have a desire to fulfill something else. Now, whatever your motivation is, that's the motivation. But if you don't have a reason that's going to get you out of the shit you feel you're in, or have you fulfill on something that matters to you, you won't take action. So you've got to have a why. You've got to have a reason to get up, and it needs to be specific and measurable, and it needs to be a reason that's just meaningful to you. Okay, that's number 2. So number 2, have a why, have a reason. It's either avoiding pain or 2, seeking pleasure. 3, to combat self-doubt, you need a strategy for success. So if you're clear on your why, I want to produce an exhibition, I want to make $350,000 in total GCI, gross commission income as an agent, I want to build an office of 5 agents and grow a rent roll of 800 properties, whatever it is, I want to lose 10 kilos, I want to save 20 grand, I want to clear 50 grand debt, whatever it is. You've then got to reverse engineer a strategy, meaning it's just a plan. Create a plan and have it chunked down to weekly actions. One of the reasons we let self-doubt get in the way is because the dream just feels too big. The dream feels like overwhelming. You know, this amazing exhibition I went to on the weekend, Roan, the Melbourne street artist, spent a year in this mansion, this old Gatsby-style mansion that was vacant for 20 years. And he walked in expecting just to paint one wall. He transformed like 12 different rooms in this immersive experiential thing. You know, and if he had looked at the whole thing, it would have been overwhelming. And him and his wife just had their first baby that same year. But when you chunk it down, and for him, he might have focused on room by room, and you just complete one room at a time, then the vision gets created. So know your why, know your reasons for wanting to do something, and then reverse engineer a strategy or your plan to make it happen. So what's the weekly? And then I encourage my clients to get down to the daily. And you got to make the small sexy. What are the daily things that you need to do? And is it going to get boring sometimes? Yes. Chopping wood and carrying water, doing the same thing, painting the same painting, making the same feathered, bow ties, calling and prospecting, in the same industry. It can be boring. So we've got to make the small sexy. But it will have a compound effect. When you show up and you do the daily detail, it will build to the ultimate design of your vision. But most of us don't have the resilience to do the daily detail, and therefore we quit before we succeed. And it's a shame. So, number one, make sure that you're not collapsing failure with you're a failure. Know that you're not good enough. Separate what happened and the story you're telling yourself. Number two, I missed number two, sorry. Number two is, have you ever tried something and failed? I'm hoping you're going to say yes, otherwise it means you're not in the arena of life. There are 5 steps to confidence, and most of us don't feel confident to conquer the things that we doubt ourselves in. So what happens is we start climbing these steps of confidence. I have got a video on my website called The 5 Steps to Confidence if you want to watch that. I won't go into it now, but here's what I'll tell you. Step number 3, when you're trying something new. G'day, Kelly. Great to have you here, my love. You will either stuff up and step down to step 2 and just not be willing to do what it takes to keep practicing the actions. Hey, Kelly. Or you will keep going. And the reason most of us quit at step number 3 is because we care too much what people think about us. When we fail, we see that as just like public embarrassment, because we, in our egos, are addicted to being perfect and getting it right. The most successful people would rather look silly and be successful than be cool and broke or unfulfilled. So I'm going to ask you, where in your life are you too busy trying to be cool, try to have it sorted, trying to look perfect, and all your dreams and desires lay dormant because you're not willing to stuff up and fail and look bad? The most successful people are the ones that have failed the most with their failure. So that's number 2. Don't collapse failure with being a failure. Be willing to practice and stuff up and pick yourself up and keep going and ask yourself, what's the lesson here? What did this teach me? Then we go to number 3, which is why. Have a clear vision. Are you avoiding pain or seeking pleasure? Number 4 is reverse engineer a strategy. Chunk your goal down. If it's a year-long goal, if it's a goal for your financial year, chunk it down to quarterly goals, chunk it down to monthly goals, chunk it down to weekly, and then chunk it down to daily. And if you have an ideal week, if you've put all of your actions in your calendar, both your personal and professional actions, and all you need to do is rock up and do what your day tells you to do, and you just do that without, procrastinating and without putting it off, that detail will build the design. Does this make sense? If this is making sense, g'day Lou, you're on here too. Please let me know. Yes, it makes sense. Let me know which lesson out of the 7 strategies can you hear that you need to apply for yourself. So break down the daily action. That is step number 5. Number 6, have an evidence procedure. So you can probably see here on my wall, that's an evidence procedure of all the actions that I've committed to taking every single day for 90 days, and you can tick off if you've done it. The good thing about this is when things get boring and mundane, you've got some evidence of progress, and progress is the key to happiness. If we feel like we're progressing, we will continue to show up and do the work, and it makes the small sexy and achievable. So you must have a plan to progress. An evidence procedure will give you that dopamine hit of, yes, I've done that, and you feel good about yourself, and this starts to eliminate self-doubt. And I would say here also, as I said, measuring and managing also makes you accountable, but accountable is the seventh step. If you have self-doubt and you let your fear sabotage your fulfillment, it's because you're being slippery with yourself and there's no accountability. You need to have an accountability buddy, whether it's a coach, whether it's a friend, whether it's a parent, whether it's an app, whatever it is, you need to have something that'll take you beyond your reasons, and you need to be unreasonable. So they're my 7 strategies for beating self-doubt. Number 1, you have to separate the story from what happened. So what happened in life, what happened, but when you make it mean stuff, you're going to disempower yourself and you're going to have a lot of self-doubt. So separate the story from what you're telling yourself. Number 2, don't quit on the 3rd step. When you're practicing something new and building competencies, that's the time when we quit. That's the time when self-doubt kicks in, because we're addicted to looking good and getting it right. And we don't do it perfectly, we just quit. Have you ever quit something that you were trying? Keep going, keep going, because that's the pathway to growing. Number 3, have a clear vision, have a clear why, whether it's avoiding pain or seeking pleasure. That's to give you leverage to act even when you can't be bothered. Number 4, reverse engineer a strategy, create a plan for you to do the things that you know matter. And if you don't know the plan, replicate something that someone that's already achieved the result that you desire has done. Don't waste your time reinventing the wheel. Replicate what other people that are doing, and then make the small sexy. Break it down to yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily goals. You just need to do the little 1%, 2%, 3% things every day, and it's the detail that will make the design. That will build up over time, have an accumulative effect, and then at the end of the time, you're more likely to fulfill the goal that you desire. Number 6, make sure you have an evidence procedure, because things are going to get boring when you're being repetitive, but you will get a dopamine hit if you have an app or a manual process to acknowledge your success. And please make sure you acknowledge your success and acknowledge the little consistent steps that you're taking. And number 7, accountability is key. You must have some kind of tool or person or app or resources to keep you accountable. And is it likely that you'll stop or you'll quit? Yes. Is it likely you'll fall off the horse? Yes. Oh, who have we got here? Aisha, thank you. Thanks for the love heart eyes, Kelly. But the sooner you get back on the horse, the sooner you get back into action, rather than wait, stuff up on the Tuesday and go, I'll wait till next Monday, because Monday is psychologically a good day to restart. We've all done it. We're going to start that diet Monday. We're going to do it on the 1st of January. The sooner you get back on the horse and get that momentum going, the better. And you bridge that gap of self-doubt. And finally, I'll leave you with a message from Mel Robbins. She's the #1 female peak performance coach on the planet. I love her work. If you don't follow her, please check her out on Instagram and Facebook. Read her book, The 5-Second Rule. Watch her TED Talks, How to Stop Screwing Yourself Over. And she's got a great little YouTube clip that I show in some training. And I can't remember the title of the clip, but here's the message of it. She says we all wait for self-belief to take the action to get access to confidence, but that doesn't work that way. Hey, who we got here? Akshay in the house, thank you. We all wait for ourselves to believe in ourselves before we take the action. Does that make sense? So when I believe in myself, then I'll take the action. But please, waiting for you to believe in ourselves, waiting for me to believe in ourselves is just going to have us sit in the sofa of self-doubt, because we don't have the evidence of achievement. So the evidence is what we need. Meaning, don't wait to believe in yourself. Take the action you know you need to take, even if you feel wobbly, even if you feel insecure, even if you feel uncertain or that it's a risk. And the result or the evidence that you produce as a result of taking the action will give you the evidence that you took the action, which will help you build self-belief. Does that make sense? So don't wait for self-belief to rise above self-doubt. It is action and evidence of your action that will give you the belief that you went beyond your reasons, you went beyond your procrastination, and you went for it. So this is what I would love you to do this week. What have you been putting off that you know if you took the action would propel you forwards? Where are you sabotaging yourself, and where are you letting self-doubt win? And where are you letting your fear get in the way of you fulfilling your fortune? Karen, working on making the small sexy today. That's one of my favorite. Do that. Make the small sexy. Otherwise it gets boring and we won't do it because it's boring and predictable. And love Monday mornings. Oh, thanks, Akshay. Beautiful. So was that helpful? Which one of the 7 strategies do you know you need to implement? Please let me know here on Instagram as well. And if you feel that you're stuck in the sediment of self-doubt and you just need a good, loving kick up the booty to get you on track and fired up to fulfill your dreams and goals, let me know. And send me a DM on Instagram or a comment or a private message in Facebook, and I'll give you a complimentary half-an-hour discovery session. And let's just rip off whatever's in the way of you sabotaging yourself. It's valued at $250. There's no set of steak knives. I just want you to win. It's part of my values to boldly contribute. So let me know if you want that. And if not, and you're just happy, tune in every Monday for Mindset Mastery Monday. I want your questions. I want to know what you're dealing with, what your challenges and your issues and concerns are. I'd love you to write them into me because I will customize content to fulfill the things that matter to you. Holly Byrne, love, thank you. Please also let people know about this. This is free peak performance coaching that has people produce results. You know, I know many of you don't have the resources for a private coach, but, don't let that be the reason that stops you from taking an action. And it's just one small thing. So before we sign off, I'd love to hear, thanks, Wild Offerings. I'd love to hear from you. Please type in the one thing that you got out of today's session and what you're going to do. Just type in, if you're driving, don't worry about it. But if you can type in the one thing that you're going to do, whether I coach you or not, whether you're online and you're one of my clients, and if you are, I love you. I know a few of you are on here. What's the one thing? What is the one thing that you've heard for yourself that you're going to do? So as I'm waiting for those one things, because I really want to see where rubber's going to hit the road for you this week, I know Karen is going to make the small sexy. So let me ask you, Karen, what specific one thing you're going to do to make the small sexy? Let me know. All right. I love you for tuning in. Small things add up. Yes, the little things. You should know you paint for hours a day to make things happen. I want to really clarify my why today and create the plan. Awesome. Good on you, Holly. There's a great book by Simon Sinek and David Mead called Know Your Why. And there's also YouTube content and an online course, Holly, that you can do. So knowing your why is a great thing to do. And you need to know what innately inspires you, because you'll consistently take the action. G'day, Greg. Great to have you here on Facebook as well. So if you haven't heard about that resource, Holly, get into it. And I also invite you just to mind map. What do you love? Because when we are clear about what we love, it really provides the fuel for us to serve, and serve even if we weren't getting paid. See, I would do this even if I didn't get paid, because I identified at 16 I wanted to be someone that inspired people to believe in themselves. I didn't believe in myself at the time, so I had to work on that for myself to be a contribution to others. So Holly, let me know how you go with that. Start with why, and Find Your Why is a book by Simon Sinek and David Mead. Kate, continue to break down and get in the results annually, monthly, etc. Yeah. What's the big vision, Kate? Financially, what do you want to make next financial year? We've started to work on that. Now, what does that look like? Quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. And you just got to make the small sexy and do the daily actions. So awesome. Thanks for tuning in. I love you guys. Have an amazing week. And in the words of Maya Angelou, remember, people will forget what you did. They'll forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Go and make yourself first, give yourself the oxygen before everybody else. Go make yourself feel great, whatever that is. A cup of chai, a bubble bath later tonight, play some good music, put your red lipstick on, whatever makes you feel good. Do something that makes you feel good and go and spread that magic around the world, because we need to reflect each other's greatness and remember the miracle that we actually are. Thanks for tuning in. Look forward to seeing you for Rapid Fire Friday. Actually, no, I won't be doing Rapid Fire Friday this week because I'll be celebrating 20 years of marriage. Can you believe it? 2 decades of being married to the same guy that proposed to me after just 6 days of being together. So no rapid fire Friday this Friday, but I'll be back online for Mindset Mastery Monday next week. Remember, if you have a question, send me a message. I'd love to answer it no matter what industry you're in. But if you're in real estate, you're in luck. I specialize in peak performance for real estate and property professionals. I'm out. Have a beautiful week. Much love. See you soon, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And to my friends here still on Facebook, thanks. Have yourself an amazing week. Go well. Much love. See you soon.